Let's start off with the anatomy of conjunctiva. So we know that conjunctiva is divided into three main parts. That's the bulbar conjunctiva, the palpebral conjunctiva, and the pharyngeal conjunctiva. Number one is bulbar conjunctiva. As the name suggests, it covers the ball, the eyeball. Okay, that means it covers the sclera. And we all know that the cornea is not covered by anything else. So it covers the sclera. And then the palpebral conjunctiva. Palpebra means lids. Okay. So it covers the upper and lower lids. That is the inner side. The inner surface of upper and lower lids is covered by the palpebral conjunctiva. And number three is the pharyngeal conjunctiva. It's the conjunctiva that covers the junction of bulbar and palpebral conjunctiva. Okay. Now, an important constituent of conjunctiva is the goblet cells. These are the main source of mucin for forming the tear film. Okay, tear film, we know that one of the layers of tear film is made up of mucin, and these goblet cells secrete the mucin. This can be a question. Okay, please remember, goblet cells secrete mucins. Okay, they're essential for maintaining the wettability of the ocular surface. That is for the stability of the tear film. Okay, see, the next is mucin stabilizes the tear film, and the maximum number of goblet cells are present in the inferonasal part of the conjunctiva. And you can understand that when there is a deficiency of the goblet cells, the tear film becomes unstable, and then obviously it will lead to dry eye. Okay, so goblet cells are present in the inferonasal conjunctiva at maximum concentration. They secrete mucin for maintaining the stability. That's what you have to remember. Okay, now let's proceed to our first condition, that is vitamin A deficiency. This is also known as xerophthalmia. Now what you have to remember for the exam is the WHO reclassification of xerophthalmia signs. So XN, N stands for night blindness. Then X1A is for conjunctival xerosis. Xerosis means dryness, right? Next, X1B is for Bitort's spots. B for Bitort's, right? X2, you have to proceed from conjunctiva to cornea. Now the cornea is starting to get involved as the disease is progressing. So X2 is corneal xerosis. X3A and X3B, let's look at these together. Both tell about corneal ulceration, that's keratomalacia. However, X3A indicates only 1/3 or less than that of cornea is involved, but X3B when half or more of the cornea is involved. Okay, X3A 1/3 or less than that, X3B half or more than that. Okay, and XS stands for scar, that is corneal scar, and XF will stand for xerophthalmic fundus, F for fundus. Let's have a quick revision. XN, N is for night blindness, X1A is conjunctival xerosis, X1B, B stands for Bitot spots, right? Now X2 is the involvement of cornea, X3A 1/3 or less than that of cornea ulceration, and X3B greater than half of corneal ulceration. XS is for corneal scar, and F stands for xerophthalmic fundus. Now, an important point here is up to the stage of X2, that is up to corneal xerosis, we can conserve the cornea just by giving supplementation of vitamin A. Okay, now let's look at these pictures. Conjunctival xerosis, you can see all the folds on the conjunctiva, you can appreciate them. This indicates the dryness of conjunctiva. And then these are the foamy triangular spots, those are the Bitot spots. And you can see a dull lustreless cornea over here. There is no luster. So this is corneal xerosis, and this is X3B. More than half of cornea has been ulcerated, and this is XS, that is stage of corneal scarring, and this is XF, that is xerophthalmic fundus. This is how a fundus of vitamin A deficiency appears. It is very rare in India. Now coming to the management, we have discussed that vitamin A supplementation is crucial and the dosage will be 2 lakh international units for children above 1 year. Okay, 2 lakh international units. You have to remember this dosage. Okay, and the dosage will be on 0, 1 and 14 days intervals. 0 day you will count as the day of presentation. Whenever you diagnose the patient, that will be your day 0 and you will start off with your supplements. Then 14th day is for the liver supplementation. Okay. Now let's proceed to conjunctival reactions, various types of reactions. Now first one is follicles. Okay, follicles are collections of lymphocytes. These are dome-shaped structures. You can appreciate them in this picture over here. See, so many follicles. These are dome-shaped lymphocytic collections. And they are indicative of either a viral infection or trachoma or toxic conditions such as brimonidine therapy. We know that brimonidine is an anti-glaucoma drug. We have learnt about it in our glaucoma classes, right? So this anti-glaucoma drug causes follicles as an adverse effect. Let's look at papillae. See, as compared to follicles, these are much smaller and much reddish, more red in color, right? So these are the elevations of conjunctiva with a central vascular core. And these are indicative of allergic conditions such as vernal catarrh or a foreign body reaction. Papillae will indicate you more towards an allergic condition rather than an infective condition. Okay, now let's start off with conjunctivitis, the most common inflammatory condition of conjunctiva, right? So the clinical features is a bright red eye, but striking feature is the patient does not have any pain. There's no pain, only redness and discharge. Discharge is another important feature in conjunctivitis. Based on the type of discharge, we can decide the etiology of the conjunctivitis. So, purulent discharge indicates bacterial etiology, serous discharge indicates a viral etiology, and mucoid discharge indicates allergic etiology, right? So, purulent indicates bacterial, mucoid indicates allergic, and serous indicates a viral etiology. Now, let's look at epidemic keratoconjunctivitis. It is caused by adenovirus numbers 8, 19 and 37 and it is highly infectious. That is, it spreads very easily and it has 3 synonyms. Your question can have any of these 3 words. So, epidemic keratoconjunctivitis, that is EKC, is also known as pink eye, Madras eye or the shipyard eye, caused by adenovirus 8, 19 and 37. Now let's proceed to acute hemorrhagic conjunctivitis. It is caused by picornavirus, enterovirus 70 and Coxsackie virus. It is highly infectious. An interesting fact about enterovirus here is that it is also known as Apollovirus 11. It was discovered in 1969. So, acute hemorrhagic conjunctivitis is also known as Apollo disease. When you look at this word in your exam, please remember that they are asking you about acute hemorrhagic conjunctivitis that is caused by picornavirus, enterovirus or Coxsackie virus. Now let's look at this condition called ophthalmia neonatorum. As the name suggests, it occurs in neonates within first 28 days of life. We know that the tears do not form in the first 28 days of life. However, if the baby is showing any signs of tearing from the eye, you should suspect an infection. Okay, because the tears are due to a reflex from the infection that is disturbing the eye. So, depending on the time of presentation, you can find the etiology. On the first day itself, if the child has these symptoms, you will suspect chemical conjunctivitis. If on the second or third day, it could be gonococcal conjunctivitis, which the child contracts from the mother's birth canal. Okay, and it is the most dangerous type of ophthalmia neonatorum. And chlamydia, if the child presents after 1 week with these symptoms, it will be chlamydia. Okay. So gonococcal conjunctivitis is the only conjunctivitis that causes blindness. So it's the most dangerous type of conjunctivitis. But why? How does it cause blindness? Because it will simply perforate the cornea, right? And it makes a person blind. So the management is by this method called the Creed's method. You will instill 1% silver nitrate in the newborn's eyes, okay? And chemoprophylactic action against gonococcus is present for silver nitrate, so that is why it is effective. However, it is toxic and can cause chemical conjunctivitis in return, okay? So the drug of choice for prophylaxis is azithromycin, okay? For treatment, you will give 1% silver nitrate as chemoprophylactic, but because it causes chemical conjunctivitis, your drug of choice will be azithromycin.
Hello everyone, this is Dr. Sai Suguna, your mentor for ophthalmology at MedicoApp. Now thanks for watching the video. Now we have put such videos all together in our ophthalmology app. The trial version you can download from the link over here or in the description box below.